Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw from Biocon is now joining us. Ma'am, thank you so much for taking out time for us. Can you talk to us about Q1, the reasons for increase in intra-segmental revenues?
There is a one-off inter-segment revenue because of a recognition of certain bulk raw materials that were bought on behalf of Biocon by our sister company Syngene, and that is what is the intercompany revenue recognition that you are referring to.
Good afternoon, Kiran. Thanks so much for joining us here on ET. Now, this is Tara. I want to talk about the rest of the financial year. What kind of a guidance can you provide us for R&D?
So the R&D guidance remains unchanged. You are going to see a lumpiness in terms of R&D spends over the year because, as you know, it is very linked to the the programs and how they are developing in the clinic. So although you are seeing a slightly lower spend this quarter of 88 crores, it is likely to now catch up and increase in the coming quarters. So we remain committed to the R&D spends as indicated earlier on.
What do you think about margins, ma'am? Do you think that over a period of time as launches happen in FY19 and volumes pick up, you'll get an operating leverage for better margins ahead?
Well, as you can see, we've actually seen a small improvement in our margin over, when compared to last fiscal, 26 compared to 25% EBITDA margin. So I think you are seeing and going to see an improvement in R&D, our margins as the developed market sales kick in. So obviously we expect to see a slight margin improvement this fiscal and better margin improvement going forward. But you are already seeing signs of the biologics business and the Syngene business contributing to higher margins.
Kiran, I want to focus on the road ahead for the financial year. Do you think it's going to be more about volume growth and launches, after the space of approvals that have been seen and witnessed?
The biologics approvals that we have got are significant, and I think these approvals help us to get into not just the developed markets like US and Europe, but they also help us to get into many of the large emerging markets, Brazil, and other markets in AFMET, Asia, and of course the eastern markets. So I think if you look at it from that point of view, these approvals are extremely important. I would also like to emphatically state that we are the only company from this part of the world to get 2 biosimilar approvals for our drugs from US FDA. As far as Fulphila is concerned or pegfilgrastim is concerned, as you know, we just recently received the approval, and Mylan has just launched this product in the US market, and we expect that this will actually garner some good revenues for us this fiscal and going forward.
Ma'am, what is the perspective in the European market? Unlike generics where US is the biggest market, European is the second biggest market. For biosimilars, can you explain to our viewers, is Europe also a very big opportunity like the US?
Certainly, I think biosimilars are a very large global opportunity, and of course the most attractive of these markets is of course the US followed by Europe. And I think given the fact that Biocon and Mylan have an early mover advantage in at least some of these molecules, we hope that US of course will be a very, very important market for us, but we also expect to be fairly well represented in the European market as well. And we have a very attractive pipeline of biosimilars which we hope we can basically leverage in both these markets.